Let's get ready to rumble. And it will be. For the very first time, the two presidential candidates going head-to-head since the race for the White House in 2020. But again, there are obviously stipulations here. So let's get to it, folks. Good afternoon and welcome into Newsline. Biden is calling for dates in June and September. We have learned moments ago, June 27th will be hosted by CNN. ABC, September the 10th. Those are the dates. Those are the networks. Also this hour, Trump on trial. Our legal experts standing by with what we heard from Michael Cohen as he returns tomorrow. And again, the debates will be happening. 45 saying it is time to debate so he can explain to the American people his highly destructive Biden's open border policies. He mentions a lot of things that Biden supposedly afraid of crowds. Well, I think either way, a lot of people will be watching this, and I'm pleased to bring in right now Newsmax host Ed Henry to talk about this massive development breaking as we speak.
So good to see you. What a story.
It's a great story. We know Trump was always ready. Jason Miller on my show last week saying anytime, anywhere. But, you know, let's talk for a moment about the stipulations and, in fact, the dates, Ed, which are somewhat not per usual. Usually there's 3. They're usually later.
Right. And in fact, in terms of the number, we could break this down. The Trump campaign put out a memo immediately saying they want more than 2 debates, to your point. And they're proposing June, July, August, and September. Unlikely the Biden team would agree to that, but it shows you how excited the Trump camp is. I think, being close to the situation, that this is manna from heaven for former President Trump. He's been wanting this debate. The issues, if you go through every single poll nationally, Newsmax and others, you look at the fact that in the battleground states, Donald Trump is winning, but also on issue after issue, the border, weakness on the world stage, inflation and the economy. Donald Trump's up big. Israel and Hamas, and the fact that Biden's in a pretzel in terms of the Democrat Party being split over him pulling back on the weapons to help our most important ally in the Mideast in the middle of a war. He does not have a good hand to play. And so I think the Trump camp is excited about this. I think that's why Joe Biden has all these stipulations, no crowd. He knows that if Trump dunks on him, the audience is only going to pour it on more. And it's just not a good hand for Joe Biden. And he surprised his own campaign on Howard Stern a couple weeks ago when he said he wanted a debate. The Biden camp never wanted to do this. So this looks very risky for Joe Biden.
You're right. It's interesting because there was sort of the circling of saying we want less of Biden, but there's no way we're not in COVID. They can't lock him in a basement. So this is the offer. Trump, again, has accepted this, these 2 debates. I question, too, what's unfortunate is, yes, there'll be debates, and I'm pleased that there will be debates. But I always go back to, as journalists here, it depends on who's asking the questions. Some are saying they don't even think the debates will happen, but it is the person in the seat directing the conversation, because we saw what happened with previous debates when you let liberal moderators in.
Yeah.
You don't get that. Now, Trump will be masterful. But again, I wish it was another outlet here that was able to kind of ask pointed questions, to your point, to the issues and not really softballing.
I agree, but I think the point is going to be the answers, right? Not really the questions. I mean, the liberal media can ask whatever they want. It's not a good situation for Joe Biden. The bottom line question that Ronald Reagan asked so many years ago, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Joe Biden can't answer that question in a positive way, no matter how it's spun by ABC or CNN. And I want to add the timing that you asked about. The first debate in June, I haven't covered this for so long. This seems very interesting. Number one, the debates by the commission, which the Biden camp is now throwing aside 40 years or so of tradition, are typically in the fall when people are making up their mind. These 2 candidates will not even officially be the nominees until the conventions. And that leads me to this. Why June? Are there people on the left, are there people in the Democrat Party trying to push Joe Biden aside and saying, we're going to give you a shot here. Go June. Let's see if you can really go toe-to-toe with this guy. And if you can't, there might be fireworks at the convention. I'm not predicting that. I've always been skeptical that they can pull Joe Biden at the last minute. But why would Joe Biden, behind right now, before he's officially got the nomination, agree to a debate with someone who's a great debater, who's got a great hand in Donald Trump, unless he's getting pressured right now and needs to roll the dice and go toe-to-toe with Trump? That's what I suspect.
And if that is the case, it's the easiest layup, because with no live audience, there's no pro-Hamas hecklers. They're shutting off the microphone. So it's an interesting point you raise, Ed. I'm so glad you were here to talk about this on this breaking story today. Thanks, Ed.
Good to see you.
Ed and Henry, folks.